All right. So for those of you who want better relationships, more success, you already understand the central nervous system. I'm going to teach you one of my top tricks that I use to manipulate my central nervous system. Whatever. How I get around my central nervous system very quick in order to get what God says he has for me, or to reach the next level, build more relationships, succeed, etc. Because I know there's some of you out there who want relationships, you want more success, and I am going to break it down. And what I do is what I call the time machine. When I go into schools, I tell the kids about the time machine all the time. And here's what the time machine is. The time machine is finding somebody in your field, somebody who has what you want, who's more wise than you in the area that you want to grow in. If it's relationships and you're 20 years old, go find a 45-year-old person who is in a healthy relationship that you want. If you want to build a record label and you're 25, go talk to a 60-year-old record label mogul or somebody, right? Now, this video isn't going to be how to find that person, but this video is going to be about what you do when you find that person to get them to actually mentor you, and what you do in those conversations, and what you do after those conversations, because each step is critically important. Okay, so first off, what this is going to do when you talk to somebody who has what you want or who's far beyond you, they can at the first glance recognize where your central nervous system is blocking you. They might not word it as your central nervous system, but they can definitely see what your blind spots are that you cannot see. Here is what's important. When they meet you and they begin talking with you, they can tell whether or not you are ready for the information and the advice that they have that could change your life. And they have advice that could change your life. But they know it's such a shock that they don't feel like fighting. They don't feel like arguing with nobody. So if they feel like they can just pour all of the information into you and that you're ready to receive it, they're going to. But most cases, they don't. Why? Because when people get around somebody who's more successful, they want to start proving themselves to them. They want to show them how much knowledge they have. And the expert just kind of shuts up and lets them talk. Or the expert knows you're not completely ready, but I'm willing to mentor you. And they kind of like slowly, gradually give you everything. What I do to get the most out of them is I use active listening skills, and I know how to ask the right questions. When somebody is talking, I immediately let them know that I am listening with everything that I got. And the questions that come out of my mouth aren't my first instinctual questions. Your first instinctual questions might be something very elementary at where you're currently at. You might say something like, how do I succeed? Or you might say something stupid, right? That lets them know, oh, you're not ready for this. So I got to give you this until you're ready to spiral up to that, right? So what you do is you sit back, you analyze them in a way to where you're almost trying to understand the level that they're at. And these are my interview skills. This is how I interview people. I'm paying attention to figure out what is the right way to ask the question. Basically, what can you see about me that I can't? Okay? And so that's the goal. How do I sit back and actively listen and not, your central nervous system is going to fight and make you want to talk and yap and prove yourself, but shut up and listen and try to figure out how can I ask the question in a way that they know they can mentor me, that I am ready for the hard conversation, and that they can give me what they don't think I'm ready for. Okay? If you can once you get to that point and they are starting to spew things, do not respond from how you feel. Instead, respond from curiosity, okay? Be honest and let them know like, oh, okay. Wait, back up. So this is this, like be very curious, because a lot of what they say, your central nervous system can't take it. Because you're like, whoa, this is foreign. If you start to feel bored, if you start to feel anxious or overwhelmed, slow yourself down and keep being curious. Like, what do you mean by this? What do you mean by that? What do you mean by this? What do you mean by that? And let them keep continuing to spew. Okay? Now, if you have a great memory, once you get out of that place and into the car, start to write your notes down. If you need to take notes right then and there, be like, yo, you mind if I take some notes? Like, I feel like this is going to change my life. Whatever you need to do to remember what they have to say, because remember, central nervous system is fighting all of this information. It's going to drain you. You might feel sleepy. You might forget all of it. Okay? So that's what you want to do when you first meet them. That's what you want to do when they start actually unraveling information. And then when you go home, you want to sit on that information. Take it back to your therapist. Take it back to your homeboys or your homegirls that you trust. Anybody in your team. Research those topics. Grind, and reach back out to that mentor often. I call this a time machine because these are the things that these individuals wish they knew at your age. And they wish they had somebody to point these things out. And they wish they had somebody point out their flaws. So utilize the time machine wisely and you can defeat your defeat, not manipulate. Defeat your central nervous system. My name is Seth Whitted, author of Breaking Negative Cycles. I come from a low income, high crime environment filled with beautiful people. I've broken many generational cycles, environmental cycles, family cycles, and I want you to be one of them too. Be the one that changes things for the next generation and your family. Holla at me.